Hey guys, today I would like to show you different animations that we have, or let's call them effects that we have in a playable builder. You can see a lot of them utilized in templates because we build our templates in our builder, but let's show it to you as some sort of standalone thing so you can actually see the difference. So first of all, let me go with these. So let's say first let's start with particle effect, and let me actually put particle effect on top here. Uh, what you do is you will have very similar setting for any kind of animations like this, but you have got some general settings, position and size. So it's basically the same thing as me doing this. And then you have got some more important stuff like particle and emission. So in particle, you need to select an image, of course, to actually have something emitted. Let's say that I would use this lightning, and then you set some basic things, like for example tint colors. If you want to turn the lightning red, you would add a red color as well. If you would like to have different tone, as you can see they are already multiple colored, let's say. Then of course if you have multiple colors, you can add different ways of how these colors interact with each other. So let's call it a tint for this case. And of course some easing. So let's use this one. It's there's That's more advanced for you to like, let's play with them and compare them in general. Then you set basic things like duration, frequency, and stuff like that. So let's say that I would like to have 100 100 lifespan 2000. That's fine. And not position, but let's say scale. Let's make them a little bit bigger. Let's go back here, and let's go back to normal so we can actually see it in action. As you can see, the duration and frequency was very low, so it was not, let's say, that much. Let's do this. As you can see now, I changed the duration, and it was much it took much longer to actually do something. So now let's say that you want to have not just one, but you want to have more of them. So you would change this frequency to 0, because this frequency is the interval between one and the other, and duration is how long does it take. So let's say I want to have like this, and the duration something like that. So again, you have got different kind of same animation, but or same effect, particle effect, but in a different way. Let me go back to it and change it to 0. Also change the scale to something lower, and this would be it. I can also change the colors. Let me get rid of them. It will be just my original yellow lightnings. Now let's do a comparison with another one. So let's say zone effect. Let me make it here. I think you can already see the difference. The zone effect is something that is happening around the zone, around some sort of shape. So let me directly show you first the shape. So it can be a circle shape, it can be edge, or it can be none. In this case, it's from the circle. And for example, let's use the same particle. Let's use the same lightning and go. As you can see, it's like this. Let me put the quantity even more, and let's say to make it around the edge. In this case, it's going around the rectangle quite nicely, and then I've got very same settings as I had with the previous one. So duration, frequency, we already talked about that one. Let me change the scale to the same it was on top of those in the other animation, and let's say this to none. So as you can see, it's another kind of animation doing different things, and there are even more things that I can basically set up. For example, in this particle effect on top, if I change the gravity, for example X or Y, the things are actually the effects are falling more towards one of the axes. In this case, the gravity is falling down. and you can animate some sort of things, dropping or the other way around. um, if you do it the other way, it goes to the other way. You can do the same, going diagonally, and so on and so on. So there are different kinds of things that you can set up. Let me change it back to 0. Okay, so those are two animations, zone and particle. Let me also open another one, which is called flame. Again, I will do it here at the bottom. Flame animation is something that is, again, it has very similar setup, but it is already predefined some sort of tints, because you can simulate a flame with it. If I use the same element, in this case it was this lightning, you can see it's not uh, as good as the flame, but it's depending on what you use as your item. If I change it for this kind of glow PNG, it's much more of a, let's say, fiery thing. And again, you change things like what the blend is, what colors it should be going to, how long does it take, the lifespan. Again, you can play with the gravity a little bit, even the particle scale, so it can be really big flame, and so on and so on. So these are three basic animations: flame, zone, and particle effect. You can utilize them differently. So for example, if you would like to have some sort of glow effect under some element, you can just change this for glow, and it's glowing quite nicely. Or you can change this uh, for a circle. Let's imagine that you have got some sort of circle element on a character or some sort of other thing. You can easily put this animation there, and it will do the trick for you. Last but not least will be the exploding particle. This one is quite different, because when you first set it up, it does, let's say, almost nothing. It's really just like this. It's very similar to all these other animations, but you can actually trigger through events. So now I can turn explode, and you can see that it exploded. You can even change the quantity and so on, but I can turn in different game elements when this should explode. So if I, for example, get rid of these three, and I will add, let's say I will add a puzzle, and I will tell to this puzzle that every time the tile is moved, change property, exploding effect, because that's how this one is called, explode. And now just to visualize it properly, let me actually try to find some image there. Let's say the skeleton, zombie. And now every time I move it, if I set it up correctly, of course, the explode should happen. Of course, it's happening on the place where I put it, so that's why it's not. Oh, I'm so bad at puzzles. Yeah, now I made it. So if I put this element, for example, here behind the puzzle, like this, and like this. Now if I will be playing it, the exploding effect would actually happen behind that. If you want to have it on top of it, you can easily just use our layered system. So if the element is on over it and I play it again, then every time a piece is moved, it's happening again. And again, for the particle effect, you have got almost the same settings like gravity, scale. So let me try to actually play with the gravity. I like that one a lot. So as you can see, it fall down pretty heavily. So yeah, those are four basic effects that you can achieve here. There is also text and image effect, which I would like to show you in a different video. So stay tuned, and ciao ciao.